pilots, arm your quads.
Way.
Hey, how's it going, guys? How's it going, guys? This is the Skip and Carter show, and I'm Skip, and there's Carter.
Oh yeah, and Brody.
Oh, we got Brody just walked in the building. How's it going, Brody?
It's going all right.
And then we have Ethan. He's over there in the corner, and a new engineer. So we got somebody, Ethan in. He is going to be one of the new members of the crew. He is engineering stuff. I seen him. The first thing he worked on was some long arms for to turn one of our drones into a 7-inch. So it was a dead cat 7-inch, wasn't it? Yep. So we had a dead cat 7-inch that he was designing, and we'll give you a little sneak peek of it real quick. So look at this, guys. This is one of his first projects that he's working on, and he's got 7-inch dead cat arms on it and plenty of room for sure. Yeah, so that's pretty neat. And here you go. I'll give this back to you, Ethan. I don't want to mess it up or get messed up in my hands. But yeah, no, we're happy to have somebody take some pressure off Armando and have somebody designing things and getting things done. That way Armando can focus on more stuff and innovating new projects and making stuff nice. So how's everybody doing? Feel free to ask us any questions. If you have any questions at all, ask them in the chat. If you have any questions after the show and we're not live and you just watch this show afterwards, like kind of like a podcast, because I heard some people actually watch this like a podcast, be sure to put your questions below in the comment section. That way we can answer them. So we've had a new wave of pit stop stuff come through, and it's been really interesting. The other day we received it was a tank.
Or the first one was a toothpick.
Oh yeah, the first one was a toothpick, and so we diagnosed the problems and we got it all squared away. The person named Milo, he gave us a really nice email today and said that he was really happy and that we went above and beyond, and he was really appreciative of the effort and work that we put into it. So it's great to see that we have the pit stop actually going through well and people are loving it. We done a tank for a guy, and he not only sent his own parts in, but he was so happy with it he sent all of his other drones in.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad to see that people are using that pit stop, because it's something that I think was needed in the FPV community. That there's a lot of people that don't have a lot of time to work on their drones and need a service like this, and we're happy to provide it. So so if you don't know about FPV Pit Stop, what it is, it's a subscription base. So what you can do is there's tier levels that you can subscribe to, and depending on what tier level you get, you can get tech help. You can get your drones worked on, and then you can also get your whole chapter's drones worked on at the highest tiers, from what I hear. But no, people are actually sending in their drones, and we're taking stuff that we've never seen before and making nice drones out of it, so they can be back in the air. And that's the big thing is making sure the FPV community can get back in the air and keep flying, because we want people to keep flying. All right, so look here. I wanted to show this off. Here is one of our Light Switch HD units right here, and Carter has done this. He's really made these TPU parts match these props. It's called Yawesome Yellow. Isn't that the name of it?
The name of the props, yeah. I think the spool.
But the spool is called
transparent yellow.
Oh, transparent yellow.
Mm-hmm.
So the name of the props is Yawesome Yellow, and then you matched it up with the TPU.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that looks so cool like that. So if you
just need orange now.
So when every time you
everything.
put out a ready to fly, do you actually match the TPU with the prop?
I try to.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So Carter done this one here, and look at that work right there. He has really put some nice work into it. You can see here. Let's do a top down. You can see that these solder joints are freaking flawless. They look nice. And look on the other side. Yeah, that looks really nice. This one's got an O3 air unit in it.
Yep.
And he's put the antenna down here. And there's the camera with a camera mount on it. And you can see the props clear it nice. But no, that looks really good. I really like how that looks. There's the antenna mount down there for the LRS. And I flew these at Champs, and I have to say they actually fly really well.
Doing a top battery?
Yeah, so yeah, I done the top battery on mine. I had two sticky pads, and I had the top battery, and it almost flew too good as far as handling went, because whenever I got back home, I decided I wanted to do some Velocidrone and then start flying again. And whenever I started flying the Velocidrone and started flying again, it felt like it handled too well. So I actually moved mine back down to the bottom plate because it felt nothing like Velocidrone. And so Kevin Turner says it needs a duck.
Needs a duck.
Well, we can probably put a duck sticker in their order or something like that. But as far as a duck on the drone, I think, Kevin, you're the guy to have the duck on the drone. And we don't want to put your signature everywhere. But, no, I think a duck sticker would be great. Hello from South Bend, Indiana. How's it going, G-Bro? Nice to see you on the stream. Nice to see you also, Kevin Turner.
Again.
So, yeah. This is the Light Switch HD, and I think Carter done an awesome job. I like it very much. Here you go. Whose is this? So this is actual customers. He's flew it around. He's tested it out.
Thad Allen.
It's good to go. Thad Allen. All right, so Thad Allen, Thad Allen from L.A., Monroe, L.A. This is your drone right here, and it looks really nice, and it's ready to go. He's got the he's got a nice capacitor on top. I really like that, where you put the capacitor on top.
That's the only way it really fit, honestly.
Yeah. But it looks good right there, especially with the L3 unit. That looks great. I think it's awesome. I'd put my name on it for sure. So we're also making a bunch of whoops. How's it going, CMYK FPV? So I'm putting my name on this drone. So we send out this paper, and I'm going to show you this one paper here. So it tells you on every ready to fly drone, you receive this paper, and it tells you the receiver UART, and then it tells you the video UART, and then it tells you who assembled the frame, who checked the electronics on it, who done the final assembly, and then who flight tested it.
Oh, Tyler was here.
And then, so you have to have 2 people to sign off on this to make sure that when your drone goes out, it's been thoroughly checked. And I watched him fly it. I'm pretty happy with the build. It looked really good to me. So there you go. I'm going to put my name on this one. And that's how we do that. So every drone, we actually go through a checklist, and we add that checklist into your order. And you get to see who has worked on your drone and what all has been done to it. And
you actively tune it too.
Yeah,
Some of
so
them got to be changed because they'll be fluttering or.
oh yeah, so Carter does a really good job in making sure that every drone is tuned to where it has no problems at all. So whenever you get your ready to fly, you should be able to just bind your remote and fly it, because somebody has already flew it around the gates and everything, and Carter, he does almost all drones. Carter and Evan does them,
flying them.
Yeah. So once you get your drone, you can know for a fact that it's been flown around, that it's been thoroughly checked, that it's been tuned. If we even have a problem at all, I mean, Carter's getting good at tuning now, but if we have a problem at all, we also have Armando. He comes and tunes them whenever we have any that are questionable or whatever.
There's been moments we've all been out there looking at one.
Yeah. We luckily haven't had anything crazy go wrong. But we haven't had any like flyaways or anything like that. But no, when you get your ready to fly, you don't have any need into flashing it or anything like that, because it's ready to go. It's already got CAC on it and everything, so it's ready to race. It's not only ready to fly; it's ready to race. Alright guys, so I am making a bunch of whoops.
Get one of the ones
So I have a bunch of whoops that I'm making right now, and we will go ahead and show you what I'm doing right here. So if I go from top down, I'm doing the HD0 whoops, and here is the HD0 board. And this is the HD0 AIO5, and then we have the RCM power motors on it, and these are those nice nice blue RCM power motors. They're like blue and purple, and I love these motors because they look just like a like you would see a 5-inch motor. A lot of whoop motors, they look just simple and basic, but these have nice cuts in them. Somebody CNC'd that bell really nice. RCM Power does a really good job on these motors, and it looks like it belongs in a big drone. But yeah, so, and then we have the Eco camera on it, and I figured I'd solder one of these up on stream and show you how to solder one of these up. And it's not really hard, it's just you got to be really careful. So this one's a pre-soldered board. I'll do it from the start here. So if you're going to solder one of these up, what I do is I go ahead and I clip it right where the USB is, and I just hold it on there like that. That way, it's nice and sturdy. I don't have to worry about anything, you know. And I leave the wire where it comes from the factory. I leave it right there, slanted. Just leave it how it is. And then I just start at each motor tab, and I take my 6037 solder by Kester. I believe that's what it is. Let me look at it. It is 63 SN63 PB37. No clean. And what no clean means is the solder rosin core, you don't have to clean it off because it's not acidic. So here we go. I'm going to just tap on each one. And I do this really fast. Then just go to each motor tab, and I'm just putting my solder on the side of it there and tapping it. And we don't put big solder balls on these whoops. We just want the minimal that it takes to make it solder in there properly. And the reason why is because we have a 15-gram whoop, or the HD0 is 18 grams. So if you put a lot of solder on there, it's not going to be 18 grams. So you just want enough to get the job done. All right. And then now I'm going to do the camera wires. Right here's the camera. So you got C, P, G, and 5 volt. And then on the other side you have V for positive, battery positive, and G for ground. So it comes with this wire here. The AIO5 comes with this lead here. I'm just going to pre-solder. Even though it's already pre-soldered, I'm going to pre-solder it a little bit more. Just like that. And now that's pre-soldered. And then I'm just going to come over here. Solder that on.
Do you have a little antenna I could use for
and solder this one
a
on.
BTX antenna like that, or just
So you see, I've done that really fast. You don't really want to leave your heat on it long. You just want enough for the solder to join to the board. And the less time that you use on it, the faster it goes. I mean, the prettier it is. So here's our whoop motors here, and I've already pre-cut these to a certain length. And how I do my whoop motors is I'll put my finger on it like this, and I'll cut the wire off. So it's my index finger width, and that's where I have the wires cut. So same with the motor tabs. You want to be quick with this. If you choose to use tweezers, you can. I don't necessarily use tweezers. I've got used to just grabbing it and putting it on there. Here's another motor I want to put on. Now if you look, I hold my finger on the board to like kind of steady my hand, because I don't know about you guys, but I shake a lot. So if I put one finger on the board, I can kind of steady my hand a whole lot easier. There we go. And all I'm doing is putting the two pre-soldered pieces together and just tapping it. Just like that. You should never have to ever hold the soldering iron on there more than just a second. If you're holding it on there for a long time, then I feel like you're doing something wrong. That light was in my eyes, so I'm trying to do this and not block the camera at the same time. That can be difficult.
Did you put this on?
There we go.
Are you talking about the canopy?
It's so hard to get off.
I didn't put that on there.
Alright, there we go. Now it's soldered on there. Everything's soldered together. All I gotta do is the camera. I am going to turn this around and check it, because whenever I was trying to do that, it was different on the angle. It looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks fine. Alright. Now you want to go back and check everything. Make sure you don't have any bridges or any mistakes. Always be thorough with your work. It looks like this one has a little spot right here that I don't think it's bridge, but it has a little spot that I'm not too happy with. So just take that off real quick. and redo it. It ain't no big deal. Just take a little bit of solder like that, make it flow. So see that if I don't like something, I can always go back, pre-solder it, and then put it on there again. But it's a whole lot better to, if you're adjusting something, to go ahead and take it off and pre-solder it, because that's got resin, it's got flux in it, and you want that flux to be fresh whenever you're soldering. And if you burn the flux out of it, then it's not going to flow correctly. There you go. That one looks nice and neat. I'll show you guys up close what it looks like. Those are all pretty. I am happy with that. Now we got just the camera to put on there. And once you get the camera on there, the job is done. So the camera length, I'm also going to take my finger, put it right here, my index finger, it's going to be the width of my index finger, then I'm going to cut it off, just like that, cut it off, strip the wire, so now they're all stripped. I'm going to take, pre-solder the wire, then I'm going to solder this on. Now the way the HD0 EcoCam gets soldered on is yellow goes to C. So I start with that one and I solder that one on. Now I'll grab my tweezers for this one. Yellow goes to C, white goes to P. And then, of course, black goes to G for ground. And then red goes to 5 volt. So there you go. Yellow C, white P, black G, red 5 volt. That's the order it goes in. So if you're doing the AIO5, the new HD0 Whoop board, this is exactly how you're going to solder it up, and this is done. So you have no other soldering to be done to this. This is ready to go, which is really nice about the HD0 AIO5. Now, what I'm going to do is take the frame out of the box. Now we have already printed our mounts, and this is our mount that we're using right here. And they call this this 3D print filament, call it PP, and something about it makes it really light. So that's the filament that we've been using on these. It's super hard to print with. It's when I first started printing with it, PP is one of the hardest filaments to ever try to print with. We've had so many of them peel up from the bed and just come off. And so what we have to print one at a time, and I've tried printing multiple ones at a time, but almost every time they fail. So it's not an easy material to work with, but that's what we use. So something you probably don't know about, the RC and power motors have a bigger C-clip than most motors on the bottom of it. So what you have to do is you have to make this hole bigger in the drone. If you don't make this hole right here bigger, then your motors are not going to spin in this Newbie drone light AF frame, and this is the lightest frame you can get. So we're not drilling the holes out to make it lighter. We're just drilling the holes out for the motor C-clip. And there we go. That frame is ready to go. So now I'm just going to mount all this on this frame. And so the most tricky part about these builds is the rubber grommets. So when the HD0 made this, I guess they were trying to make it lightweight, or as lightweight as possible, because it's got a lot of stuff on the board, and it's a really thick board, so it can take a lot of heat. But those grommets, they're really a pain in the butt to try to get it to mount right the first time. So I just work all the components down where they're supposed to go on each side. Having everything pre-soldered is really nice. So I'll make sure I put my motors on each side of the battery. You don't want to be sliding your battery in and out with the wires inside where your battery is, because you could accidentally rip a wire out. You don't want to do that. So here's the little bag of goodies that come with the HD0 AI05. I'm going to pour that out. And we'll take the little rubber grommets, and I'm going to put them, kind of pinch them and press them on each corner. If anybody has any questions about this at all, just feel free to ask them in the chat. But just push each grommet in, and now we're going to be pushing it onto the drone frame itself. And it seems like when you get one side on, the other side falls off. So don't be surprised if it kind of frustrates you doing it. Because whenever I'm doing it, it definitely gives me a hard time sometimes. And I'm sure they'll improve that. But right now you just got to kind of work with it. Once you get it all on there, though, it's pretty secure. But I just kind of go to each one, and I try to get the side of the USB port as soon as possible. And be sure to do this over a table, because you are definitely going to drop one out. So now, once you get the back and the two sides on, this front one, you're going to have to really kind of like angle it and push the chip at the same time. and kind of hope it just falls all into place. There we go. There we go. So that's all mounted in. And now I can flip this around. Now we use peak screws. And if you guys don't know, these things are freaking, if you ever try to buy these are the most expensive screws that you're ever going to buy for a drone. So the most expensive part about these drones somehow, or the most expensive hardware for these drones somehow are these peak screws. These super tiny little screws are lightweight, and they keep your build lightweight, but they are proud of them for sure. So another thing is they only make them in a certain length. They make them 4mm or 2mm. You can't get them in any other length. So we got the 4mm, and we're chopping it down to about 1/8 of an inch. I don't know if you guys can see it, but on my little soldering table here, I have a measurement, and I just go put the head on 1/8 inch, and I cut it off. And then we got that little screw right there. And if you look inside the Newbie Drone box, which I like to provide these with every build that we have, they have extra screws, or they have the screws that go with it, the metal screws that go with it. If you look, these screws are the same size as the ones I'm cutting. So I like to provide these screws in with the build in case something happens and one of these screws falls out. You'll still have some screws to replace them with. So that's something I get the guys to add into the build, or into the Ready to Fly box. So while I'm cutting these screws, we'll come up top and we'll talk about Champs. So Brody went to Champs, and I went to Champs, and Brody, what place did you get, Brody? Are you awake over there? Hey, Brody. Yeah, Brody is not been feeling good, so I guess, but no, I went from 350 on the GQ, and then I placed 22nd on the sport class, so I was really happy about that I went pretty far, and I think I could have done better. I was trying out a new setup with the top battery mounted, because the reason why I think I could have done better is the week before we made the track, pretty much made the track and done a race, and I feel like I'd done a whole lot better on the track that we made, and I was using bottom mounted batteries. And it's not that it didn't handle better, it handled a whole lot better, but it's just the feel of it was changing dramatically between what I was used to, and I guess if you were flying the Twig XL3 on Velocidrone a lot, that's kind of how it felt. It felt like too good. So but no, I actually got 22 22nd in sport class, and then after we got done doing sport class, I went and helped, volunteered and helped judge. And me and Quad Doc, we went and judged. Quad Doc beat me. I forgot. Let's see here. We've got the point system here, or the points here. Brody, what'd you end up getting in sports? Do you remember?
What I get?
Yeah, in sport class.
I qualified fourth, finished seventh.
You qualified fourth and you finished seventh. Do you feel like you done way better at champs than you did at GQ?
I did better than I did at GQ.
Oh, really?
I could have done a lot better. I could have done a lot better at champs. Like, I think I could have been podium. Because I was, like, people who got podium, like, there was a bunch of people that I had faster times than. I was just a little bit more inconsistent on the nighttime track. I wasn't very good at night track. And there are a couple of excuses I could make, but...
Do you feel like the pressure, when the pressure was on, is that why you didn't do as good as you wanted, or?
Yeah, there was a lot of pressure behind it, because, I mean, it was, like, top 16 final sport class, and it was my first, like, I guess, like, multi-GP officiated race. Like, it was a really big race for me, and I was top 16 final, so there was a lot of pressure on it. But yeah, it was mainly it being a nighttime track. Like, that really messed me up a lot.
I had a lot of fun at nighttime track, and so the first day that I ran, the first pack that I ran, I lost video. And it was because the first pack that I ran was on Channel 3, and they went back and they tested Channel 3, and they had a lot of troubles, and they had to end up cutting it out. Because when they looked at Channel 3, it was like going in and out. So, the first pack, I done terrible. And then the second pack, my drone catches fire.
Oh, is this daytime stuff?
Yeah. So, I mean, right when qualified started.
I mean, I literally was standing next to you that one time where you plugged in and out.
Yeah, and then that was the third pack. So the third pack, I just plugged it in, and my ESC pops.
Literally
Pow!
just explodes. Like, we were just standing on the line, and I put my quad on the block, and then Skip goes to plug his quad, and it just blows up in his hand.
So I brought 4 drones with me, and I'm like, Brody's like, well, pick 2 of your best ones and just save that for the race. And I was like, all right, cool, that's a great idea. So I picked my 2 best ones, was going to save it for the race, and they just started.
Like, save for bracket.
I killed every one of them in the daytime qualifying. So we went back to the Airbnb, whatever, and I fixed 2 of my drones, and then the LED track, I actually redeemed myself on the LED track. So it's kind of interesting. You said that you had a bad time on the LED track. I actually redeemed my time on the LED track.
It was just really, like, iffy, because I actually set my best time on the LED track.
Oh, really?
But it was by a millisecond. Like, I beat my previous time by a tenth of a second. But I was super inconsistent on that time. It just, like, messed with how I saw gates and stuff.
Yeah.
But I actually stayed pretty consistent throughout the day. I took 4 quads down there? I took 4 quads down there. And I wasn't going to touch 2 until brackets.
Yeah.
The 2 were the exact same. Everything was nice. They were both brand new. So I really only flew 2 for all of qualifying. All of qualifying, I flew 2 and only broke 1. And the only one that I broke was during nighttime. And I got my turtle fin chopped at some point.
Yeah.
I was trying to turtle, and I blew my ESC.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Dang.
I didn't realize I didn't have a turtle fin, and I was trying to turtle mode, and I blew my ESC.
Oh, wow.
And that's it.
But
Only quad I broke.
so the one that I actually qualified good with, which I was really relying on my trusty switchback. I had a switchback that, you remember the one that I broke the arm on and I couldn't get it apart?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that switchback has been through hell. I've had that switchback.
That's like the one that was huge, right? The big beefy quad.
Yeah, it was beefy. Yeah, and well, that was the one that I won 4th place on the race that we did the week before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was really dependent on that one, but when I broke that arm, I could not get I've tried everything I could do to get that drone back apart.
Even Bob tried to get it. He couldn't.
Yeah, and then I brought it here to the shop, and I couldn't get it apart. I tried everything that I could do. It would not come apart at all. So I ended up using a Light Switch HD, and it wasn't this one, but it was one like this. But I had a HD0 Light Switch HD, and
Oh, you got talking about your HD0.
what's that? Oh yeah, the goggles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Tell them about how we went to this Airbnb. That
yeah.
was cool. That
So
was
we
nice.
went and practiced after champs. So it lasted me through champs, and then we went the next day while they were qualifying on pro class. We went and to Airbnb to fly around, and I just take my goggles off and I set them down on the desk, and I'm trying to get my drone to work, and I finally get my drone to work, and I pick them up and they're off. So I take a new battery, plug them in, nothing happens. So I'm checking my cords and stuff, nothing's happening. So we get back to our Airbnb, and I freaking plug 3S to the directly in, and they just freaking smoke. And yeah, but what the cool thing is, I was really down about that, but the cool thing is they came together here at 533 and got me some new goggles. And for my birthday, I was surprised with some new goggles, which I was very appreciative of. But no, yeah, Champs killed a whole lot of stuff of mine. They killed my drones, they killed my goggles, and
Did you get anything in Champs? Did you win anything?
I got so close to being podium. I actually went from C main to B main.
So you did get better.
No. So what happened
You
was
placed 4th because you're the.
I was in the winners bracket,
Yeah.
so I was already going in,
I remember now.
but I placed 4th, so I lost the podium.
Yeah.
So, and then I actually moved my way up in B main, and then whenever I start going back to back, anytime that I don't know why, but every time that I have to put the pressure on and go back to back with my with batteries, I choke every freaking time.
I like flying back to back more than I like having a space.
See, I like having that breather. That breather is what helps.
I just don't like having time to think about it. Like as long as if I just keep flying, I'm fine.
Yeah, I need to get to that. I need to figure that out. Being able,
I feel like I'm in more control of what happens because, like, during qualifying,
yeah,
I was like, I didn't sign up till like pack 34, so I watched everybody else fly for like 34 rounds, and then I started putting some packs in, and I was falling like super far behind in qualifying,
yeah,
and I was kind of like scared because everybody else was like, well, I didn't really think about it, but everybody had flown it 15 times. And they had pretty good times, and I'd only flown it like twice, and I was pretty far behind.
right.
But after I got like 5 or 6 packs done, I was up. It just took a little bit of time. And then it just came down to me, Red Sky, Blasta, and what was the German guy's name? Radian?
Yeah,
Radiant and Blasta were just going back and forth with their last 3 packs, just trying to get like tenths of seconds off.
Brody got so aggravated at me because I gave Red Sky
I
VTX.
was pretty upset about that.
but I think he understands. You know, I represent 533, so I just wanted to be nice and get somebody to continue racing.
He could have ran out of gear,
but at the time, Brody was upset, and he's like, "You caused Red Sky to beat me." No, I think you caused yourself.
The thing I'm most upset about was losing to a tenth of a second to Alex. I was so upset about that.
Well, me and T-Dog, or not T-Dog, Mark? What's Mark's?
Two-Dog.
Two-Dog, yeah. Me and Mark, we were pretty tied, but I did get, Two-Dog RC, he got 24, and I got 22. And then
I think me and Alex had like the tightest race of the night, right, Carter? Like they replayed that like 40 times.
Oh yeah, at the end.
Yeah, where me and Alex like came across at the same time.
And then Quad Dog, he got 18th.
Dude, I celebrated.
I remember, yeah.
I celebrated and Hyper kind of calmed me down. He's like, "You didn't win."
Oh man.
Dude, I lost by a tenth of a second. I was so upset about that. Because that's what knocked me out. I used my cushion.
Yeah.
I used my cushion so early on just by being stupid and inconsistent.
Hey, what's going on, Booster FPV? Nice to see you in the stream.
It was that final race that I literally just kept choking over and over again, and then I caught back up to everybody and lost by a tenth of a second.
Yeah, I was doing all right, but when I started having to go back to back, I started messing up, and I'd get up and hit a gate and get up, and I just hit my wall. You know, kind of like you hit your wall in Velocitron. I definitely hit my wall in racing. Which I see these guys, they fly Mayhem. And I don't really get how they do that. How they fly all freaking day and not hit a wall.
They definitely do. They just fly the exact same time over and over and over.
They do 12 hours. Can you imagine doing a 12-hour race?
I kind of want to do one, honestly.
Yeah, I do too, but you know how much you have to practice to damn...
You need brand new batteries.
Oh, yeah. So I used the same two batteries almost the whole time that I raced because it felt better with the 1380s on it instead of the 1550s.
How many batteries did y'all take?
Well, I took a lot of batteries, but I only had like 3 1380s. And so the 1380s is what that felt best for me. But I also had it on top plate, so I didn't want to skin up my 1550s on the top plate whenever I bend the prop. So I knew that I would go through a bunch of batteries if I would have put it on the top plate and had the bigger batteries where the props would have cut them. So, yeah. All right, so I got all these peak screws. They are all now cut, and we're going to be mounting the motors on there.
I've literally just been working on converting all of quads to HE0. This one needs to be looked at by you or Armando. I have no clue to do on this one.
Okay.
Alright, is Quad Doc in there?
Yeah, he's on here, but it's not a good way to ask somebody questions for sure. So these can be a little bit tricky. because I always use this cobalt screwdriver for all my whoops. I really like it, but I take a glue stick and I just tap the end of my screwdriver on the glue stick, and that way whenever I put these peak screws on, I like a magnetic screwdriver, so having that glue stick to grab the screws with makes it a whole lot easier and a whole lot faster. And I don't know if you've ever done peak screws before, but if you do a peak screw, what you want to do is you want to tighten it down until it stops. So until it starts jumping the head of it, and then you want to push down and just give it a little turn to snug it up. You don't want to really torque these in there because you'll break the head off of them. And breaking the head off of a peak screw is not a good thing, because you gotta then pull the motor off and get it all back together.
Who's all on the stream, Skip?
Let's see here. We have 13 people. How's it going, Heart of America? Nice to see you in the chat. You got, he says, Legends. He says, Foshi is gunning for me. Heart of America said this.
Who's Heart of America?
And,
Oh my gosh.
and
Sean
then
Ames, just wait, can you hear me?
Sean Ames can probably hear you, yeah.
Sean, just wait till next year, pro class.
Oh, bro, he's saying he's going to come and get you next year in pro class. You are getting up there pretty good. I don't know if I would aim for pro class next year, though. But if you're that fast, I mean, you might as well go for pro class.
Well, I feel like if I stay in sport, I'm going to get called a sandbagger.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be a sandbagger. JD is in the chat. Nice to see you, JD, in the chat. When you ask who it is, Sean Ames said, your daddy.
Sean Ames is not my daddy. Sean Ames is blood builds.
You think about this,
Not
Skip?
great.
This ESC solid.
Why is Sean Ames' name Heart of America?
I don't know, maybe that's just his YouTube name. I actually like that name. There's always next year is what he said. It looks good. I like the solder. It looks good.
Sean, that'd be embarrassing. Don't lose to somebody that just started. You've been flying for a long time now.
I like it. Looks good.
Skip, you've been seeing the new products on the site?
New
Hey,
products?
talk about them.
What's that?
I put tattoo batteries on the site.
What kind of tattoo batteries?
6S.
We got new 6S tattoo batteries. Nice.
The new 5.0 R-line batteries.
The 5.0 R-line batteries.
Put them on the side.
Two-time Mayhem Team Racing Champions, Heart of America FPV. I would hate to get beat, but washed up. I'd hate to get beat by a washed up old man.
He said that to me.
Yeah, he's saying that to you. He would hate for you to get beat by a washed up old man.
He's saying he's old?
Well, I mean, it is Sean.
Oh my god!
He's older than you. How?
Sounds like you just called him old.
He's probably my age. How old are you, Sean? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's close to my
You're
age.
not supposed to ask
He's-
women their age, yeah. It's considered disrespectful.
So we can get over it. Then
You're older than, he's older than me for sure, I guess. He seems very confident about that.
Skip, you're not supposed to ask women their age.
Well, for an old man, you run pretty good. I've seen you running across that track and everything else. I was like, dude, I seen him take a freaking over at Prospect. We're at Prospect, and he's got a big screen, flat screen TV in his hands. And Sean is running with this freaking TV, and I'm like, holy crap, dude. He's running a freaking giant TV. 42. Well, I'm right behind you, Sean. How old do you think I am?
41.
You know you're supposed to tell him.
That was my guess. Are you 41?
Yeah, I'm 41.
But you're not Sean.
I'm not sure.
JD says, hell, I'm 63.
Sean Ames has fall off as we started. Nah, these days he's getting beat by Cal.
Oh, I remember it.
These days he's getting beat by Cali.
I was impressed. I was super impressed to see somebody running with a giant TV in their hands. This was at I.O.
What's that noise?
Oh, I don't, well, I guess that's my on-set dementia coming in or something because I don't remember telling you how old I was. My early dementia. Yeah, I'm going through another dimension.
Sounds like you were driving through dementia. Skip.
No dementia. I'm just kidding. Calm down.
There's Sean Ames washed.
Huh?
There's Sean Ames washed.
Is he washed? What do you mean? Is he washed?
It's like when it's like when you've fallen off of something, you wash. My Carter's washed at Fortnite.
When you're falling into something?
Falling, like when you fell off something. Like that's like saying, like Skip, did you fall off? Like that's the same thing.
Oh. You guys got another language. I don't freaking understand everything you say.
If you're washed. You're washed at drum building.
I have no clue. I just don't understand you, Brody. Yeah, I know. They got these words that they say.
These words.
I mean, we already had to deal with our grandparents saying tarnation and all that. And now we got these kids with these new words. What's another one? What's that? What's one of them words that you say all the time?
Cooked. Skip's cooked. Skip's fried. Skip, are you fried?
No, I'm not fried.
Okay, I think you took that in the wrong.
I'm sober. I'm not fried.
Yeah, so that's not what I meant about it. Like, cooked is when you're in trouble. And fried would just be another version of cooked.
Oh, well.
I didn't mean, like, hi.
Yeah, it is another language. Yeah, they all freaking. They said something. They said something the other day, and I'm like, what the heck does that mean?
What was it?
I that's why I don't remember, is because you're talking some other like alien language or
Sounds
something.
like a grandfather. Oh my god.
No, it's like you guys are lazy about words. Like you don't even say the whole word.
Yeah, Brody. I don't know.
You know, like the English, they do that ba-a-wa. You ever heard that? Ba-a-wa.
The Brits?
No cap.
Yeah.
That's what Sean just said.
No cap.
Yeah, definitely need Riz. No cap. Yeah, I was it. No cap. What the hell does no cap mean?
Okay. Like,
Does it mean take your hat
You're
off?
not
That's
lying.
like,
You're not lying.
yeah, you're not lying. Like,
It's just like dead ass.
yeah, dead ass.
Yeah, dead ass is another one.
Yeah, that like those things mean the same. No cap. No cap's like actually old.
Yeah, but if you break it down, how does dead ass even mean?
Hey, that's just like how we talked about badass.
Like you're saying,
Break it down.
so
Badass.
dead asses be like for real, you know, like for real.
Yeah, for real.
But when I think of dead ass, I think of a
dead-
possum with a dead asshole or something. Yeah, JD. Dead ass means for real or something like that, I guess. Or I'm serious.
Riz.
Like,
Riz.
yeah. Now I know what Riz means.
Oh my gosh, I'm retarded.
Riz. I think it's hilarious. Cause like you can say it in any context. Or no, you really can't. But like, it's funny to say just any good.
Riz basically is the word pimping.
Yeah.
That's the, if in our day it would be called pimping. You're pimping.
No, that's too far. Riz is like on top of the water. Like my friend was walking down the hallway the other day, and he like just started talking to this girl, and I walked past him and I said, "Riz." I wouldn't say
So stupid.
I wouldn't say it. That's like,
Even Carter says it's stupid.
yeah, it's stupid, but it's funny. Stupid things are funny. I thought it was hilarious.
No, that one's embarrassing.
And then, yeah, I was about to say, it makes him embarrassed. That's why it's funny.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, then the girl realizes that he was talking to her. Like, it kind of just clicks. I wish this 3D print would be done so I could finish this build.
All right. Here's the hard part about this build right here is you have to make this camera mount
Skipped it.
fit right.
That was the extrusion flow. We did that much.
What's this out of?
The yellow printer.
What? What part?
Did you do the extrusion flow?
No.
Calibrate? Yeah,
So
you
once we get this
don't
on,
do it anymore. Because it just does that. That's a lot.
What's this?
That's it.
You gotta
literally
be very
shoots it out
careful.
into a pool to calibrate it.
this is not like
Like,
P-
no, it's
PLA.
It's usually a string.
Where can you find the camera mount? So
Why is it so hard?
they have the camera mounts
It should be
online.
straight
If you
up.
just type
Oh,
in
yeah, it
uh, HD0 Eco Mount
watch it do
That's
it all
not how
the
it usually happens.
on
Or that's not what it's supposed to
things.com. So what we did is
happen. Carter.
we actually took an existing mount already and we just made it
I couldn't even
lighter.
see it till it was like right here.
So we personally did not come up with this one. We just made it lighter from what it already is. And the way you make it lighter is by the material you use. And so the material is out of PP filament. And I don't know really what PP stands for, but you can imagine the jokes that people around the shop talk about the filament
Especially our mom. That
having PP in it. Is it polypropylene? Is that what it
I
is?
don't know, it just sounds right.
It does sound right, but I don't think that's what it is. I know it's lightweight. And so we take this sticker off the back. That sticker's going to weigh like a half a gram on the back of there, so
You said
get rid of that thing.
the yellow.
I have no clue.
Take the lens cap off. Now I'm going to just work this back plate in there. And then I'm going to work that up at the same time, like this. And people have asked me before. There we go. It's on there. People have asked me before if this chip being out exposed like this would cause a problem. And here's the best way of illustrating it. If I take this right here, let's say this is the floor. So if I take this right here and I put this up against it, you see that the actual top of the camera is hitting the top where the mount is before anything else. So this one is really close, but it is actually off. So the top of that mount is hitting first. So, and I also think if you did happen to hit this board, I don't think it's going to actually damage it, especially, you know, think of the two things you'll be hitting is grass or like a gym floor or something like that. You know, I really don't think you're going to damage it that much. This one is a 40-degree mount on this one. So if you look, it doesn't look like an actual 40-degree. So what I will do is to get it back into shape, I'll take a heat gun and kind of heat it up just a little bit. Until I get like a 40-degree, and then I'll check it and make sure that's actually at a 40-degree. Because these guys, they want them at the 40-degree. You guys better knock it off, or we'll have to pull off my belt and whoop both of you.
Tim, what are you talking about?
You throwing crap. I see what you're doing.
Stuff.
All right.
Carter, how much longer does that print have on it? Did you see that, Skippy?
Yeah, I seen it. It's on camera.
It's
10
not
minutes.
Me. It's him.
It's 10 minutes.
What time is it?
No, he was asking for
It's almost
print.
5 o'clock.
I'm leaving at 5, so if that thing's not done by 5, I won't leave.
I just told you when it'll be done.
All right. So
In 10 minutes?
we got anything other new things to talk about?
Yeah.
I've got
I've got some news.
what's that?
He doesn't have news.
Go ahead, spit it out.
The new products.
You gonna show it to me?
They're on the website.
Well, I've been working on this frame right here. So I'm working on a vertical arm frame, and figured I'd show it off.
Well,
This is not the finished product. This is actually just something I'm testing out, trying to make a vertical frame. And I know the plate's a little bit big on top, so we'll probably carve some out of that. But it's got vertical arms on it, and this is actually 3D printed, and it's pretty strong the way it is with just a 3D printed and not carbon. So if it's going to be strong with PLA 3D print, then it's definitely going to be strong with carbon. But I've always wanted to come up with the vertical arm drone. I like the Fox Crooked, but I don't like the box around the Fox Crooked. So I want to come up with a vertical arm drone that does not have the box. Also, I'm not too crazy about pods, and I want to have like a normal camera system. So I'm going for the normal spot for the camera and not having a pod on top of it. So you may argue that it looks kind of like an afterburner, but if you look at my arm locations, they're totally different than the afterburner, and my camera location is totally different than the afterburner, and this is going to be a whole lot lighter than the afterburner. So I'm shooting for sub 250s is what I'm shooting for.
you look, you're trying to go get some like
And I feel like
Dude, that'd be fire.
that is what most racing drones are going for these days, is sub 250s.
Skip, you
Uh, No, this does not have overlapping props. If you look right here, they are not overlapping.
Jeez, alright.
So they're pretty close, but they're not overlapping. But this is what I've come up with so far, and I've got some changes to it to where it brings the CG down a little bit. It makes this arm flat, but and my deck is slammed on the bottom of it. So this will be for a 20 by 20 stack. You won't be able to put a 30. This is a racing frame for sure. And that's what I've got so far. So
Can I touch on it?
yeah, go ahead. Hey, how's it going, Rick James? Nice to see you in the chat. You say make it smaller? Is that what you're saying, Her America? Make it a smaller profile? Well, I mean, I am making changes to this top plate. I probably could make the top plate smaller a little bit and extend the arms more. The thing is, so if you take a 20 by 20, here's a 20 by 20 ESC, and it will line up where the holes would be. So I could come in a little bit closer with a 20 by 20.
Look at that specs.
So yeah, we could make it a little bit better, but we're pretty close already. And I know people want room for building and stuff. So there's a little room to be taken here, not much though. It's different. It's totally different than a normal drone though. It's not just a square plate on both sides. Here's the Light Switch HD, and here's what I've come up with so far. So here's another one that I've been looking at, and it's a 1-bolt lock. It's got all the arms in it, and it locks down. And but this one is very complex, and it's going to be hard to make. And the reason why I can show you this is because there's some secret sauce in it, and it's all to do with angles and everything. So if you don't have the right angles, you can't do this. And then you have to make those angles, and finding somebody to CNC angles is a very hard thing to do. So there is a couple things in the working as far as frames go. Make it a 4.5 inch. Well, I think I'm focusing. You could put 4.5 inch on it. I don't see why not. But if you were to go motor to motor on this one, it's smaller motor to motor for sure. Yes. What am I looking at?
I don't know how to put this thing on it.
Huh?
I can't get this race thing with
That's it.
it. And the top plate to sit on top of it. I was gonna put it on the top plate.
So we got a prig here, and you're saying you can't put the Race V3 on it because the antenna is not long enough. The SMA antenna is not long enough.
And the MIPI's not long enough to sit it in the back.
Okay, so what you need to do is get a longer SMA cable, and that way you can locate it up there with that.
We don't have longer SMA cables.
I'm sure we can find one. But yeah, that's that's the solution to this, is either finding a longer SMA or a longer MIPI. And it looks like this is the longest MIPI we have. Yeah. So the choice is putting a longer SMA on it. So we have one of Quad Duck's Prigs here, and we're making it an HD0, and Quad Duck is doing that through pit stop. So we have another pit stop here that's being used and being fixed. He asked us to do some things on it, and this one I believe he's just wanted it to be HD0. So it's a simple fix for us, but it could be something that he doesn't want to put the time in to do it himself because he has a whole lot more to do, and he's really busy. But so, you know, we can do that for him and get it back to him, and it will save him the trouble and the hassle to do it. There you go. Can we get a proof of life photo of Mondo? Well, I hate to say, but Mondo's underground right now. Not the dead way, but he's underground.
That's not something we can really prove.
Well, Mondo's still alive, but he is underground.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
We've not seen Armando in like 2 months.
you bull crap. You're so full of
Why are
crap.
you lying to them?
Yeah, okay. Mondo is on a job right now, and he is underground. So, that's all I can say.
He's underground at the moment.
He's underground at the moment. That's all I can say. Huh? What? Yeah, I'm being serious. Yeah, I'm being serious. He's under the ground right now.
Yeah, I cannot confirm what Skip is saying. I've not seen Armando in like 2 months.
Wait, that's Foshi, right? Yeah, it's Foshi. Fosh. The one, the only. Fosh. Let me see your finger. Give me your finger. Let me see it. Alright guys, so I have to continue on. It's almost 5 o'clock. That means I gotta go pack orders.
I'll talk to him for a second.
You go ahead, talk to him.
Hey guys. Fishy here. See, we got some people in the chat.
Hopefully not 6 feet under. Well, I think he's more than 6 feet. I think he's 137 steps under the ground. But
Guys, I've not seen Armando in at least a month.
no, you haven't. You have to. You seen him yesterday. Yeah, you did.
We cannot prove he's alive.
Yeah, well, I can prove he's alive. I've got text. Hey, what's going on, Rick James?
How can you be so sure that that's Armando sending those things?
Well, maybe it's a guy in a suit that looks like Armando. And Armando actually just got deported.
That is a crazy.
Kerplunking, you're exactly right. Not the Mammoth Cave, nope. But you are hot on where or what. Alright guys, so we have to go. I've got to go pack some orders. It is almost 5 o'clock. We got 1 minute till 5 o'clock here. So you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching. And check us out. We're going to start streaming on Fridays. Every Friday, 5:33 Fridays.
5:33.
So I think that's a good day, wouldn't you? You think it's a good day?
5:33 is not a great
So
time.
5:33 Fridays. All right, guys, take it easy. See you later.